ever seen a cat and a bird together and immediately thought, oh no, this isn't going to end well? It's a classic cartoon setup, the eternal chase. But what if I told you that sometimes reality is far more heartwarming and surprising than fiction? Today, I want to share a truly incredible story about an unlikely friendship that unfolded right in my own backyard. A story that proves kindness can bloom in the most unexpected of places. It all started on a blustery spring afternoon with my cat, Jasper, and a tiny, fragile creature that literally fell from the sky. Jasper is your typical house cat. He loves sunbeams, naps, and has a mischievous streak a mile wide. He is a hunter by nature, and the birds at our feeder know to keep a respectful distance. So, you can imagine my shock when I looked out the window and saw him not stalking a bird, but sitting perfectly still, staring intently at a small, brown fledgling huddled at the base of our old oak tree. The little bird had clearly fallen from its nest. It was trembling, its feathers were ruffled, and it looked completely helpless. My first instinct was to rush out and scoop up the bird, but I hesitated. I've always heard that you shouldn't interfere with wildlife unless absolutely necessary. And besides, there was Jasper. He hadn't moved a muscle, but his tail was giving a slow, thoughtful twitch. It wasn't the excited, jerky flick he does when he's about to pounce. This was different. It was curious. I decided to watch for a moment, my heart pounding, ready to intervene at the first sign of trouble. The little bird let out a desperate, high-pitched chirp. And then, the most amazing thing happened. Jasper, my fierce hunter, let out a soft, gentle meow in response. It was a sound I'd only ever heard him make when he was trying to comfort one of his kittens years ago. He slowly crept forward, not with the predatory crouch I knew so well, but with a low, submissive posture. He nudged the tiny bird with his nose, ever so gently. The fledgling, instead of panicking, seemed to lean into his touch. It was a moment of pure, unscripted magic. For the next hour, Jasper became the fledgling's self-appointed guardian. He laid down a few feet away, creating a warm, furry wall between the little bird and the rest of the world. A curious squirrel ventured too close, and Jasper stood up, puffed out his chest, and let out a low growl until the squirrel scurried away. He was protecting it. My cat, the chaser of all things feathered, was acting as a bodyguard for a baby bird. I was completely mesmerized. I grabbed my camera, knowing that nobody would believe me without proof. As the sun began to set, I knew I couldn't leave the fledgling out overnight. With Jasper watching my every move, I carefully scooped the little bird into a shoebox lined with soft towels. I expected Jasper to protest, to try and get to the bird, but he just watched with those big, green eyes, as if he understood. I placed the box in our warm, quiet garage, along with a small dish of water. That night, Jasper didn't settle in his usual spot at the foot of my bed. Instead, he sat by the door to the garage, keeping a silent, patient vigil. The next morning, the first thing I heard wasn't my alarm, but the frantic chirping of the birds' parents. They were flying around the oak tree, calling out for their lost baby. This was our chance. I took the shoebox outside, with Jasper trotting faithfully behind me. I placed the box on the ground, and as soon as the parents saw their fledgling, they swooped down, chattering excitedly. The little bird, energized by their calls, hopped out of the box and flapped its wings. It wasn't a strong flight, more of a clumsy flutter, but with its parents encouraging it, it managed to make its way to a low-hanging branch. It was a family reunion. right there in my yard. And through it all, Jasper just sat and watched. There was no chase, no instinct to hunt. He just watched until the bird family was safely reunited high up in the tree. When it was over, he looked up at me, blinked slowly, and gave a contented little meow, as if to say, "My job here is done." This experience completely changed the way I see animals. It was a powerful reminder that their worlds are so much more complex and emotional than we often give them credit for. They can feel empathy, they can show compassion, and they can form bonds that defy all our expectations. That day, Jasper wasn't a predator, and the bird wasn't prey. They were just two living beings, one in need of help and the other offering it, no questions asked. It was a beautiful lesson in kindness, taught by a cat and a bird. It makes you wonder how many other small miracles like this happen every day, unseen and unrecorded. We often get caught up in the big, dramatic stories, but sometimes the most profound truths are found in the quiet, gentle moments. Jasper and his little feathered friend reminded me that compassion is a universal language, and that sometimes the most heroic acts are the smallest ones. It's a story I'll never forget, and a lesson I'll carry with me always. So, the next time you see two animals you think should be enemies, maybe pause for a second. You might just be about to witness something truly special. Nature is full of surprises, and the most beautiful ones often come in the furriest and most feathered of packages. What do you think? Have you ever witnessed an unlikely animal friendship? Let me know your stories in the comments below. I would absolutely love to read them. Thank you so much for joining me today and for letting me share this piece of my heart with you. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more heartwarming tales. It really helps us out, and we'd be thrilled to have you as part of our community. Until next time, keep your eyes open for the little moments of magic all around you. Bye for now.